So I don't know if you guys have ever taken the time to watch the Batman animated show or the Superman animated show or the Justice League animated show. If you haven't, you really need to check those cartoons out because they're done really well. You could basically sit down all weekend and marathon that all weekend long. So on this animated line, when I saw that they were going to do a Superman figure, I figured they're going to bust the doors wide open. And this line was going to grow like crazy and get really expensive, but at the same time, really cool. It doesn't seem like that's going to happen for this line. It kind of seems like there's a lack of interest. They're having a hard time with these one-off sculpts. Maybe there's a reason why Marvel Legends keeps redoing everything and repainting everything, because it seems like they're making millions and DC Collectibles is struggling. Let's check out this Superman and Lois. Alright, so this Superman standing about 6.5 inches tall. I'm really digging the scale on that. And then Lois is about 5.5 inches. For accessories, Superman comes with a tons of hands, which to me personally doesn't need any of these, because if I get a Superman, I basically only want fisted hands and flying hands. You don't have any flying hands, but you got a bunch of weird random hands that you're probably not going to use. And then on Lois, once again, you get kind of like relaxed hands, and then you get a ton of hands down here. It's like you got like 2 sets of relaxed hands that can hold things, and neither one of these comes with any accessories at all. So you got all these hands to hold cool stuff, and they don't come with anything to hold. So kind of a, I don't know where the like, instead of all these hands, give us a cool accessory. So for comparisons, I went ahead and pulled out the animated Supergirl, just kind of for like a size comparison. And on the Lois, I wasn't going to pull out any Lois, but I figured, when are we actually going to get a good Lois? Other than this animated one, like that toy it's pretty much toy perfection. You got the Smallville one, which, I mean, I guess that's not a bad toy. It's just not the Lois that I want. You got this old school, like, 1920s one, which is also actually a pretty good toy. And there's one in the red shirt. I'm not even real sure if that's Lois, but if she's not Lois, who else could she be? Let's check them out. Alright, first off, we'll take a look at this Superman, and this sculpt is just DC Collectibles Superman animated perfection. He does come with this really cool stand. It's not one of the cheap ones. This one actually has the clip on it, which, that just, man, that's nice, because they know that these figures aren't going to stand with that one, so they include one. Just a nice little touch. The articulation on this, I mean, we've went over it time and time again, so I don't think we need to cover that. I'll just go over how it looks. Like the shoulder joints, I love how that comes together. It's really clean. The single elbow, you don't get a whole lot of movement out of that, but looks-wise, like, if you put too many joints on an animated figure, it definitely takes away from it. At the waist, he does turn. It has those same weird thigh joints that I don't think anybody likes. The single knee, which looks nice and clean. Like, there's no pins here, no pins here. Like, the wrist, same wrist you've always been getting. And then they kill it with a pin in the ankle. And the ankles just have a hinge, no pivot. But as far as the articulation goes on this figure, really nice. The cape, super soft. Looks good. I like how they sculpted the wrinkle in there. It's just Superman animation perfection. And then you have Lois over here. Once again, she comes with the cool, if I can get it unclipped. Hers fits a little. Alright. Comes with the cool clip on the stand. You definitely need that with these little feet. And on the feet, there's no pivot, no nothing, which is good. I actually like that. I think that that's a really good idea. I know a lot of you guys are like, well, there's not enough articulation for me. Well, if you want a nice, clean, animated looking figure, like, you don't need a whole lot of articulation on this. Those knee joints, I mean, that looks flawless when they're standing up, but when you bend them, it almost doesn't even work. Like, they're definitely going for a clean looking toy. The skirt and the jacket are like a really soft, almost kind of like a rubber, so you can still move the legs underneath the skirt. The hands, same hands as all of them. The elbow, once again, the single jointed, but then it also turns here. These things are actually really stiff, but I guess that's a good thing. And the shoulder joints on this, like, so it just looks like her jacket, like the seam in her jacket. Like, God, I wish more people were doing stuff like that, like, because that is just so unbelievably clean. Like when you set these toys on your shelf, like they actually look like a small little like a sculpture, like almost like a work of art, because they're just, I mean, these things, like both of these are pretty much the whole line, action figure perfection. You really can't make a better toy than this animated line. Let me put them up there, show you the collection. All right, so this animated line is really coming along nice. Like this, God, it's one of my favorite collections right now, just because, like look at these. Every single one of them is like a new sculpt, a new mold, except for when they ripped us off on that 5-pack with all the chicks in it. We got 2 new characters. They got us a couple times on Harley, but for the most part, like, they're killing it. And on these 2-packs, they kind of rip us off on accessories, but maybe that's what will get them to where they can actually afford to continue this line, because I'd really hate to see this line end, because I am digging it. That's the collection. Thanks for watching.